Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Developing tonight, a suburban father says his late daughter's ashes were mishandled by a sheriff's deputy who mistook the ashes for drugs. Elizabeth Matthews is live tonight at the Will County Sheriff's Office with the latest. Elizabeth.
Don, tonight the deputy chief says the officer involved used extreme caution while handling the vial filled with human remains, but the owner says after it spilled in his car, he now feels lost.
Losing my daughter once was enough to kill most people. Losing my daughter twice, uncalled for.
Anthony Butler's daughter, Mariah, was 11 days old when she died in 2014 from a congenital heart defect. All he has left of her is a photo album and this vial of her ashes that he wears every day. Butler says it was filled until Sunday after a run-in with a Will County Sheriff's deputy. The Romeoville man had just bought this SUV when he was pulled over Sunday night by the deputy near 143rd and South Bell in Homer Glen.
Started off as a normal traffic stop. No front plate. I'll accept that ticket.
Then the deputy asked to search the car, and Butler said yes. He says he was handcuffed and placed in the back of a patrol car when the officer found a vial containing a white powdery substance, which according to police looked similar to narcotics.
He asked me if it was okay to test a small amount. That, I will 100% I agree to testing a small amount. The vial inside of this urn was almost completely full.
The field test came back negative, and Butler was free to go. He found the vial in his vehicle, but he says with the inner cap missing and the outer cap not secured.
When I picked up the remains, the bottom half just fell to the bottom of the console.
His daughter's ashes were scattered everywhere.
Just the worst feeling in the world came over me, like, this isn't happening.
The deputy chief says they've never had any complaints about the officer involved, and in this case, that officer did not act maliciously. He tells me that while they cannot release it, the body camera video shows the officer apologizing to the man for the mix-up. Back to you in the studio.
Elizabeth, thank you very much.
Cop mistakes ashes of man's dead daughter for drugs, spills them out in his car. The devastated father said police took my last reason to get up in the morning after an officer claimed a small vial of his dead daughter's ashes contained drugs and then discarded the remains. By Rachel Blevins, March 18, 2018. Will County, Illinois. A heartbroken father is now devastated once again after the small vial he had that was filled with the ashes of his late daughter was used and then discarded by police officers who claimed it contained drugs during a traffic stop. Anthony Butler lost his daughter, Mariah, when she was just 11 days old and she died from a congenital heart defect in 2014. He told Fox 32 that the only things he had left to remind him of her were a photo album and a small vial of her ashes that he wears every day. Everything changed when Butler was pulled over by police for failing to have a front license plate on his 2001 Chevy Blazer. He said he had recently purchased the car, and although it was registered, he was still waiting for the license plate. When he was pulled over by a sheriff's deputy, he expected a routine traffic stop and was prepared to accept a ticket. Butler works as an auto mechanic and he told the Chicago Tribune that he took the pendant urn necklace off and hung it from the rearview mirror of his car earlier that day because he was working on his girlfriend's car and he did not want it to get dirty. The traffic stop occurred at 11:04 p.m. and Butler was issued 2 citations for failure to display a front license plate and failure to show proof of insurance. But then the deputy noticed the small vial of white powder hanging from Butler's rearview mirror, and he claimed he thought it contained narcotics. Deputy Chief Thomas Buddy insisted that the officer asked for and received consent to search the vehicle, and then asked Butler if he could test a small amount of the substance inside of the vial to see if it contained drugs. While conducting the search, the officer put Butler in handcuffs and forced him to wait in the back of the patrol car. Although failing to have a front license plate or proof of insurance may result in fines from the city, those offenses do not make Butler a dangerous criminal, and his conduct during the traffic stop does not indicate that he posed a threat to the sheriff's deputy. The officer tested the ashes to see if the white powdery substance was, in fact, narcotics, and when the test came back negative, he let Butler go. However, it was when Butler returned to his car and he found the urn that he realized the mistake he had made by allowing the officer to search his car without protest. It does not appear that Butler questioned the deputy as to whether he had a warrant to search the vehicle, or what he believed his probable cause was. This is a mistake made by many Americans who believe police officers have their best interest at heart, and they consent to searches because they know they are innocent and they want to show the officers that they are law-abiding citizens who have nothing to hide. Butler did make it clear to the officer that the vial contained the ashes of his dead daughter, and he told the Tribune that he does not remember specifically giving consent for a field drug test on the ashes, but he does remember begging the officer not to dump them out. When Butler returned to his car, he found the vial on the console between his front seats and the inner cap was missing from it. The outer cap was not secure, and as soon as he picked it up, the remains of his daughter's ashes spilled out all over his car. When I picked up the remains, the bottom half just fell to the bottom of the console, Butler told Fox 32. Just the worst feeling in the world came over me, like, this isn't happening. While Chief Buddy insisted that the body cam footage, which has yet to be released, shows the unnamed sheriff's deputy apologizing to Butler, the heartbroken father claimed that he did not receive an apology after the officer took my last reason to get up in the morning. Losing my daughter once was enough to kill most people. Losing my daughter twice, uncalled for, Butler said.
County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.